What do you want? Bertrude. You find Big Bertrude looking about the black wagon in a disapproving way. She fixes her gaze on you. Her expression does not change. Hey, such a clutter added to this wagon since we looked upon it last unsightly. We remember thee from our abode in the flagging hands. Then thou must be the leading one to whom Sandalwood referred. She moves in close, studying you. You recall that the mere touch of a bog crone of the southern bogs can induce paralysis or worse. That one such as thee can extract meaning from that tone. 'Twas a feat we wished to witness for ourselves. Thy flesh has seen but the smallest fraction of the years which ours withstood, and yet we are expected to believe that thou canst understand the Book of Rites. Then she backs away, for someone else has joined you. Hail, Bertrude, madame. Is everything to your liking at this time? Or is it something more you wish to require? We have been unable to locate a supply of rotworm gizzard extract among thy belongings. Other than that, we shall lodge no complaint at present. Is it possible that Wolfred has a small supply among his possessions here? If you would care to accompany me, we may yet procure some. That would be agreeable with us. Then after you, madam. As they depart, you think you see the lone minstrel nod his head your way. Oh, thank you. Thank you. You saved me. Okay. The Book of Rites. Boing. The Rites Flame. And essential structure. And searching the scars. And before each rite. And the Law of Three. I think we've read some of these. Burning Pyre, the Aura, the Celestial Orb, the Path, Liberation. Okay, yeah, we're good. Get out of here, book. Let us continue the journey. You rise early that morning, though Bertrude is already awake. She scowls at you. I would expect nothing less. Good morning, reader. Or, good morning, reader. Bertrude. I trust your stay has been not too uncomfortable. Nay, Sandalwood. The comforts of this place are not for us. Fly us forth from here to lower ground. Let us get on with all of this. The reader here shall do so. Once the group is ready. I thank you for your patience. Those are two hard voices to go between. Take off. La 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 la. I just like to tease it, you know. Love this music. Whee! I'm free. What's this? You see? Hey, what is this? Soaring far above the Scalarian shore, you notice Pamitha gazing down at the frozen cliffs below. That damned place down there. I like it least of all, I think, among everywhere we've been. I'm thankful that there's been no reason to return. Reminds me of my home as all the high wing remnants. We all grew accustomed to the thinner air and the cliffs that breached the clouds above your commonwealth. But it was not the nicest place. Little wonder that my sisters settled for a rather warmer base of operations in the land there by the nest of Triesta. Anyway, I'm pleased to have spent a little time as possible near here. Let's fly on by and go about our business. Okay. I didn't know those were a thing. Maybe I should look for them more often. Should I bump into this person? You can hear the angry hissing coming from Uldmich, all the way from your position. You think mayhaps the skies belong to ye? It is foolish. The skies and everything above them and below belong to the astral bar. Ye shall be smitten from his skies and his awakening. Now be gone. Bonk. Should just tail him. Hey, where you going? You going down here because like I'm gonna fight you? You think I'm gonna fight you? I'll bump into you some more. Oh, that's amazing. Is there anything over here? I may as well look, right? Because we're like going way south for this. Now, here's another one. As you soar above the waters of Worm Gulf, you notice Sir Gilman slide up to you very slowly. We are very, very, very high above the waters, if this knight is not mistaken. This knight's brethren lurk beneath the surface there, in numbers all told. Fortunately, if we were to come crashing to the surface now, then this knight, why, he would receive a watery burial in the custom of his kind. Thanks, Gilman. That was really positive. Good positive attitude coming from you over there. That's why we keep you around. Your positivity, it's positively positive. Bonk. Bertrude slithers up to you as the black wagon passes through the skies above her former abode. Our kind who look below, they would scarcely believe we soar above them now. We told them when Sandalwood came to fetch us that we shall not return for some time. Our most accomplished laborers, with whom we share so many moons in exile, we trust that they shall carry forth the reputation of our services, for we taught them all we know. She seems almost nostalgic as she lists off various services provided by Big Bertrudes. Curses, balms, potions, powders, cleaning regions, sleep medicines, fungicides, seances. Big Bertrude's earned quite a name for herself throughout the downside, for these and other things. When we are finished here, provided we do not return from whence we came, we shall return to our establishment and carry out business there, for there is much demand. Well, you can't not say that she's not a businesswoman. You know, she's a go-getter. Gotta be happy with that. There's a thing here. The forbidding cairn of Haub lies below. Not the many exiles see fit to cross beyond it. Some fear that the listless remains of Shaq's 6 shoulders shall snatch them up if they attempt to cross. Others simply do not want to pass through the flagging heads. Few know the true significance as we do, although your adversaries, the Pyre, should be on their way there now. Soon, you shall confront them once again. Okay. What's the shunt? A rocky northern pass towards the ominous cairn of Haub. Ray seems very interested in visiting the mud paths along this route. The arid southern pass towards the ominous cairn of Haub. Pumitha expressed an interest in seeing how the wild curs in this vicinity are doing. You know what? Let's do it. For you. Jormer Valley. You touch down in the heart of Jormer Valley, where you first face the fate and the dissidents. You briefly wonder where they might be now and how they fare. You now have a little time before having to set forth by land. Should we explore the lick sand, or should we go talk to, it's you again. Wolfred is poring over a copy of the Book of Rites as you approach. He looks up at you and smiles. The Road to Freedom, written a book that hardly anyone believes exists, and fewer can still read and comprehend. Sometimes I marvel at how absurd all of this is, my boy. Tell me something, though. I've spent so much time considering the book, but known so few with whom I could discuss it in much detail. You've had some time to turn through it by now, so what do you think? Worth all the fuss? Wolfred wants to know your thoughts about the Book of Rites. You find it fascinating, you find it tedious. You only skimmed it, you cannot say, I find it Fascinating. You tell Wolfred the book has fascinated you, and you have never seen anything quite like it. He nods slowly as you describe your experience with it. I share this sentiment. To have in our possession a genuine artifact from a forgotten time. How much of this is exactly true, and how much of it is the scribe's retelling of events? I find it endlessly fascinating to consider, I must admit. He puts away his copy of the book with care. It's amazing that these volumes have survived for all this time. I think whatever they are made of has withstood the ravaging effects of time quite well. And the ideas there contained, they remain rather provocative as well. I think that the Commonwealth disavows of the existence of this book despite official recognition of the 8 scribes, although the reasons why are in there, written plain. How fascinating that its secrets have been kept for all this time. Anyway, you'll have to excuse me for my extracurricular interest in this teachings. I used to teach a version of its history. To have access to the real thing has brought me some small pleasure. Let us be certain to preserve these volumes for whomever shall be next to use them. He turns his attention to other matters and bids you a good afternoon. I said good afternoon. Now let's explore the lick sand. You take some time of the afternoon to survey the area with Pymitha. You observe many curs off in the distance, driven half wild from the heat. Foolish things. This is what happens when you trust the Commonwealth. There is nothing you can do for these creatures. The sight of them makes you all too... Oh, wait. The sight of them makes you all too eager to return to the wagon and immerse yourself in your vocations. So, we can study in private. Hone my skills as reader, grant small global bonuses. Mentor companion. And forage for resources. Let's mentor. So, who needs to level up? Well, Ruki is the next to go. But I believe... I don't really want to mentor her, you know what I mean? I believe maybe I should mentor Pymitha to get her a boost here, because she doesn't have one. Why, certainly, reader darling. How good of you to ask. You ask Pymitha to explain to you in her own words the histories of the 8 scribes, and speak to how they varied backgrounds, or how their varied backgrounds formed the basis not just of the rights, but of the Commonwealth. Bing! Good a time as any to say thanks for having me along on this strange little journey of yours, reader darling. Bong. Okay, she gets Pymitha permanently gains +8 quickness, making her move much faster. Yep. My sisters, we all come from the flock of Triesta Tithys. Maybe we just don't remember her anymore. Well, cool. Continue on the journey. Do I need to go to the cairn of how? Apparently. Because that is where I must face the trials. So I don't really need to level Ruki anymore. He's pretty much there, although we may take him on this one just for lulsies. Hey, Pymitha, what's this? Xylobones. I'm having fun. What's this? The Singing Sands. Okay. What's this? Bertrude's Decks. Okay. Okay, what does she want? Sorry. Pymitha is staring out the window as you approach. I miss flying, reader darling. Take it from me, it feels as good as you would expect. It's not enough for those Commonwealth brutes to cast us down here. If they can get their fingers on us, they may make sure we never fly again as we once did. All while calling it an act of mercy. Let me ask you something. You've learned a thing or two. What have your studies taught us, or taught you of my kind? Pymitha wishes to know what you have learned of the harps. You know the violence they have caused. You know what they have suffered. You know they share a common ancestor. You know little of I know what they have suffered. You know of what the harps have long survived, or that the harps have long survived on the brink of extinction, and the warriors of the Highwing remnants are all that remain of them now. They may see little recourse at this point than to avenge their fallen, and see it that the Commonwealth suffers in return for all that has transpired. Such sympathies could not have earned you popularity, I gather, darling. In fairness, you leave out a number of atrocities my people have inflicted upon yours, but nonetheless, you seem to have the gist of it. My kind certainly aren't known for their good sense of humor. I could tell you that my little tongue got me into no small amount of difficulty till I learned to keep it well under control. The mountains I come from, the views there certainly are something, but there's a bleakness to it, too. I being surrounded by those consumed by the desire to avenge. We're very proud like that. Everybody vying to be the strongest, to kill the most of you. That way, we might just get a shot with the prince. With what prince? You understand? Your understanding is that the males of the harp are all gone, though perhaps one remains. Oh, I see. Continue the line, even if he even exists. Imagine that being the best case scenario, darling. She shakes her head. Anyway, I was just thinking I'd rather enjoy the traveling we've done. The change of scenery has done me some good. Perhaps I'll stick to wandering after all this. In fact, I have a fancy for some wandering right now, if you'll excuse me. She heads out of the wagon into the dry flats of Jormir Valley. Hey guys, come on in. Say now, whatever happened to that smiley headwind guy? Did he really get out of here just like I've been hearing, or what? He did. Ding, what did you get? A +4 talisman thingy. Well, I can... I'm gonna keep Headwind's thing, right? Just like I did Jody's thing. It's they're trophies of remembrance. But we are gonna get rid of some of this stuff. Yes. What do we got here? Nothing really too good. I'll buy one of these just to have them for if I inevitably get a new upgrade. But outside of that, thank you. Okay, commence the right.